everyone. So I have decided to take or borrow a video idea from one of my favorite booktubers, I went to do that, from Gavin Reads It All, and I have actually messaged him on Instagram. He said it was fine, so hey, at least I can't get in trouble for taking the idea and not getting permission. But anyway, I'm going to do what he was doing, and I'm doing a year-long library challenge where every month I go to my local library and I choose a book based on a prompt that I get for each month. Alright, so it is the 6th of January and I have my... Hold on, let me fix the lighting because this corner lighting, terrible. Hold on. Okay, let's take two. So it is the 6th of Jan, and I have my prompt for my January library read. I did have to wait until the 6th because my library was closed for New Year's and it didn't open until today. But I have Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. I'm doing this as a buddy read, and I thought it fits the prompt because I'm doing quite a few extra books this month. So, yeah. The prompt was a weapon on the cover, and it has fire, which is obviously a weapon, but if you look in her head, there's a forest, and tree branches, I'm going to say, are a weapon. Yeah, so I will get back to you once I start reading this, but I was just here to show you the book. Bye! Okay, and I have finished Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This book is kind of like a lot of other fantasies I've read in the fact that, yeah, this is actually my problem with a lot of fantasies, is a lot of them have like the same kind of basic bare bones of like the way that the plot goes, and this one didn't really do anything different than what I've read in other ones that I liked a bit better. Yeah, this is about Diem, and she's a healer for their wherever they are. And they've got like these different races that I don't quite understand. And yeah, she basically becomes the palace healer and it goes from there. Yeah, this didn't really do anything different than some other fantasy books that I've read and really quite enjoyed more than this one. So it's gonna sit at a 3-star. Sorry, no, probably a 3 and this is probably going to sit at a 3.5 star. And yeah, hopefully then. So far, I'm on track with finishing the library prompts in the right month. Alright, let's try this again. I fixed the lighting, hopefully this will work. But yeah, like I tried to say, it's the 2nd of Feb, and I have finished my February book for this challenge. And this... No, you know not to eat that. Get out. Okay, sorry, the cat was chewing on a cord. But anyway, this is where... No, do not eat the cords. Your biscuits are in there. Go eat those, don't chew on the cords. Yeah, anyway, Where the Dark Stands Still. This hit the library challenge prompt of buddy read. I found this one at the library, so I did this one. This is basically about this girl named Liska, I think. All of these are Polish names, so I'm probably going to screw these up. Yeah, and yeah, it's about this girl named Liska, and she is like taken by the demon warden of the wood, which I'm not even going to pretend I can pronounce. I think it's Leezy. And so they have a deal. One year of servitude to him, and she gets whatever wish she wants. So I kind of got Beauty and the Beast vibes for like the first half of this, because this girl gets trapped by a beast, and who's told to become the servant, and then she ends up falling for this beast. Yeah, so there was a lot of Beauty and the Beast vibes in this, but essentially this is about Lizka, and she has magic, but magic is considered dangerous, so her magic has been like locked inside her for her whole life. And yeah, I don't really want to get into much about what this is about without going into spoilers, and I don't really know what I can say without doing it. But anyway, I'm giving this a 4-star. Did it do anything new in fantasy? No. Did it surprise me? No. Did I like it? Not really. Am I giving it 4 stars? Yes. Can I tell you why? Absolutely not. But yeah, overall, this was an intriguing read. I'm glad that I tried it. But it's not going to be a new favorite, and I'll see you in March when I talk about the next when we're up to the next prompt. Bye. Hi. So it is like the 9th of March. My library book for this month is due back in about like 5 days, and I haven't started it. Or I'm only just starting it. But yeah, my prompt for March was just white cover. So I decided to try an author that everyone talks about that I've never tried, and that is Darcy Coates. And this was the only white cover one that was available at my... Well, it wasn't the only one, but it was the one that I was most intrigued by. And yeah, it's Voices in the Snow by Darcy Coates. I don't really know too much about this other than what's on the back. I know that the cover is terrifying because I'm actually scared of dolls in real life, and the fact that there is a giant doll face on this book, like on the cover, absolutely terrifying. But yeah, this just seems something about... It's about a snowstorm, and then she ends up either rescued or kidnapped. She can't remember. But yeah, so I'm intrigued by this, and I will let you know what I think of it once I finish. I really should put more B-roll in these videos, but I don't really do anything interesting, so it's not really worth filming. Yeah, I don't really do all that much, but I'm gonna start seeing if I can put B-roll in. But yeah, I don't really do much, so we'll see. Bye. Okay, so I have about 15 minutes until my dinner's ready, so I'm going to talk through this book because I did finish it. I thought it was fine. It didn't give me the ghost story that I was promised until like the last 20 or 30 pages. It was actually really quite dull up until that point. It was more focused on the romance between the two characters, and I wasn't told it was going to be a romance. I didn't want a romance. I wanted a ghost story. But no, this is what I got. So I'm giving it a 3 stars because I only give 2 and 1 stars to ones that were generally offensive or that I generally hated. My 3 stars are usually the ones that that I rate but never think about again. Yeah, so this is a 3-star. I'm never going to think about it again. I might try Darcy Coates again. But yeah, this one was actually kind of a disappointment. You've got Claire, and you've got Doran. They're the two main characters in this. But yeah, this is like 342 pages, and only like 40 or 50 pages of it were connected to the ghost story in any way. And I still don't have any idea why they went with the creepy doll face on the cover. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of this. It's a 3-star. But I've completed this prompt for this challenge, and I can move on to April. But yeah, really disappointing. But I will try Darcy Coates again. This could have just been a one-off thing, so I'm not going to rule her out just because of one quit. Anyway, that's it for this, and I'll catch you in whatever video. Well, in this one, I'll catch you in April. Bye! Hello, so you were getting a lying down update because it's late and I don't feel like getting up and setting up my tripod. But I am now 83 pages into Piranesi, which is my April book for this library challenge of a book recommended to me, or just recommended. I can honestly tell you, I'm 83 pages in, and I can honestly tell you, I have no idea what is going on. Like, I'm reading it, but just, I have no idea what's happening. So I can't even give you a basic synopsis, because I have no clue what's going on. I mean, it's well written, but I just have no clue what's happening. Yeah, so I will probably I'll probably be able to finish the other half by tomorrow. If not by tomorrow, it'll definitely be done within the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm about halfway through, and I couldn't even tell you a brief summary of what's going on. Like, I read the synopsis of this twice to make sure that I knew what was happening, and I don't. I know that it's about a character named Piranesi, and that's about it. Yeah, this book is just really confusing. Well, I am being stared down by an animal. Look at her. Look at her. Yeah, so hopefully I'll be able to tell you something about what it was about by the end of the book. Because, yeah, I'm nearly halfway through, and I couldn't even begin to try and summarize this book. It's well done, though. But, yeah, it's no idea. But it is probably, I haven't had the best experience with the books in the challenge so far, but I will say that the writing-wise, this is probably the best one this is probably the best one of this library challenge so far. Even though I have no idea what's going on. The writing is well good, and I'm actually reading it quite quickly. But yeah, I will catch you guys when I have another update. Bye! Okay, so I have about 20 minutes until my dinner is ready. And I have finished Piranesi, which is my April library prompt, and the last book for this like section of the Yellow Library Challenge. But yeah, this started off for like the first like 100 and something pages. I had no idea what was going on. It did have an ending that I understood. From what I understood, Piranesi was, I think, kidnapped is the right word, by some Dr. Kedley, and he eventually ends up rescued by this cop, but he knows none of these names. He knows Dr. Kedley as the other. The cop is number 16, and he is Piranesi. It's revealed that that's not his real name, and he somehow forgot his real name. But eventually, it all comes to a point where he's reunited with his family, and Dr. Kettley is dead. But yeah, I still can't really tell you much more about what this was about because I have no actual idea. For most of this, I really had no idea what was going on. I know there was communication between Piranesi and 16 through chalk on the driveway, and the other was warning him against talking to her. Maybe because it turns out it was probably to keep his secret about what really happened. But yeah, so he ended up losing his memory somehow. I'm still not quite sure how, despite the fact that I finished it. And he eventually starts to have flashes of the past, like his past life that brought him to this place in the first place. But yeah, it all starts to come to a head when this flood comes to the place where Piranesi, or Matthew Sorensen is his actual name. But yeah, essentially Piranesi is being held in this place, and a flood comes. And so and that's what eventually allows him to get away. Because he finds a boat and sails off. But yeah, this is going to be a really short recap because I generally don't know what else I can say about this because I didn't understand most of it. But yeah, I'm giving this 4 stars because even though I didn't understand most of it, it was quite well done. Yeah, and this one is actually the highest rating of the ones that I've done in this challenge, so of the first 4 months of this challenge. So this one was quite successful. And yeah, so I will catch you in whatever you see next. Bye!